I just want to take a moment to briefly thank the men and women who have agreed to manage the impeachment proceedings that have now been delivered. Today, the managers delivered the articles of impeachment to the Texas Senate. This is a solemn process that all of us take very seriously. At the end of a long and grueling legislative session, I am grateful that this esteemed group of colleagues has agreed to serve in this meaningful role. We will manage this process with the weight and reverence that it deserves and requires. This is about facts and the evidence. It is not about politics. And we have the full confidence in the members of the Texas Senate that they will also approach this matter thoughtfully and with the solemnity that it requires. Thank you again to these legislators for accepting this responsibility and treating it with the seriousness that it warrants. We will now take a few questions from the media.
Thank you, Chairman. What is the expectation from the Board of Managers? I know they're supposed to present the case, the evidence, but can you tell us a little bit about the process and your role in the next upcoming days, especially since we don't have a date yet?
So, in answering to your question, our expectation is the Senate goes through a process where it will determine and set the rules for a trial in the Senate. The senators themselves serve as the jury for a court of impeachment under the Texas Constitution. And we, as members of the House, are obligated to put on that trial before that jury. And so our managers will work in that process to fulfill our duties under the Constitution.
Chairman,
yes.
A lot of people are wondering if Senator Angela Paxton should recuse herself. What is the opinion of the Board of Managers about whether she should be in there participating in a trial?
I don't have a comment on that at this time.
Will the board set rules related to that, or is that the Senate's duty?
Say your question again.
Will the board set the rules for how the trial will operate, such as possible recusal, or is that up to the Senate?
It is my understanding and the understanding of state law and the expectation of the Constitution that the senators decide the process and rules for which the trial occurs.
Will we
Yes.
hear from witnesses directly, like it was kind of mentioned during the proceeding in the House? And will you be calling those witnesses?
So the trial is understood to occur just as a civil or a criminal trial would lay out. You will see witnesses called, placed under oath, subject to both direct and cross-examination. Rules of evidence are assumed to apply, and the parties through counsel would make arguments of counsel and objections. So that is the anticipation, and you can look back based on the two impeachments that have occurred since the 1876 Constitution was put in place. Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea of the schedule or the timing on how the Senate's going to proceed?
No, sir. I do not have any understanding of the timing. That is also up to the Senate, although we understand it is a very deliberative process and will be handled in a thoughtful way to ensure that all parties are prepared for trial.
Representative, is there any...
The agency, the Office of the Attorney General, has delivered thick packets to senators putting on a defense in advance. What is your opinion of that move?
So the concern would be that... So obviously the concern would be that this committee days ago issued an instruction to not tamper or move with evidence. We saw a report that was there that was taken down. We expect, as this committee has thoughtfully engaged in the process with the highest level integrity, that the individuals on the other side would realize dropping a binder on your potential jurors could be considered a tampering or attempting to interfere with a lawful process. We are grateful that Lieutenant Governor and the other senators so far have put out statements acknowledging that they individually will take this seriously and are going to behave in the manner that jurors will. And so we appreciate them for honoring and respecting the process and acknowledge that that probably put them in a really tough position to have the Attorney General's office or whoever dropped a report and left it there in their offices.
Will you add, is it possible to add an article of impeachment as was asked for by Representative Morales?
I'm not going to comment at that at this time. Hold on.
Representative, is there any requirements within the state for the Attorney General to testify on his own behalf at the trial in the Senate?
I am not aware of any requirement that the accused is required to testify. However, in pursuant to the process of due process, in a fair and impartial trial, I do understand that the accused has the opportunity to be there, to have counsel, to participate in the proceedings, to have witnesses raise evidentiary motions and make arguments.
And separately, in light of the AG's comments leading up to Saturday night's impeachment, do you anticipate that he will let the people of Texas know his position by testifying at the Senate trial?
I'll approach this way. We are part of a judicial proceeding, and I'm not going to speculate or comment on whether or not the accused chooses to participate in that way.
One more question.
One more question. Yes, ma'am.
What about Senator Brian Hughes? I understand that to an extent, his name's in one of the documents. To what extent would he be allowed to participate in the trial as a juror?
Again, I'm going to go back to the same response that I provided earlier. We believe that the Senate determines its rules for handling a trial as it sits as a court of impeachment under the Texas Constitution. Okay?
Any chance that members who may have been threatened by the Attorney General, as Attorney Gary mentioned, would they be asked to testify about any such threats?
My response is and will be that we continue to handle this matter with the seriousness and solemnity that it should and must abide by. We are public servants, and we have, and I encourage the media and all the viewers to review the detailed transcripts that we provided, to watch the publicly available video of the evidence, and pay attention to the trial in which the same witnesses under oath will provide testimony and provide evidence regarding the various, very serious allegations of bribery, abuse of official capacity, conspiracy, retaliation, misuse of information, and other charges contained in the articles. And so this is about facts, and this is about evidence, and at the end of the day, my colleagues and I will not stand for public corruption. And that's why we're proceeding to a trial in the Texas Senate.
Chairman,
Thank you for being here today.
Why now?